Shalom, TikTok. How the hell are you? You know, in my last video, I mentioned that old saying, what would Jesus do? Now, I don't think you guys realize just how important that old phrase is, old Wwjd. That is one important phrase, because if we don't know what our enemy has done, he's able to sneak up on us. I was thinking, what would Jesus do? Well, first off, Jesus would eat the abominable pig because all his followers do. So, they are an example of what he is. So he's an unclean pig eater, and then, what would Jesus do? Would Jesus keep the seventh day Sabbath, or would he let the Pope change it to Sunday? Would he allow the Pope to change it? So Jesus would not keep the real seventh day Sabbath. So it's so important that we know what would Jesus do. Now, would Jesus celebrate pagan holidays like Easter and Christmas and Valentine's Day and things like that? Yes, he would, because all his followers do. You can tell a leader by its followers. But let's see. What else would Jesus do? Well, Jesus would allow his followers to worship him. I wanted to talk about this dark-skinned Hebrew named Yahushua HaMashiach. And I'd like to say, what would he do? What would Yahushua HaMashiach do? Well, he wouldn't dare let his followers worship him, because he says in his word, or his Father's word, that to worship the Father only, not to worship the Son and be a Son worshiper. So that's one thing. Would Yahushua keep the real feast days of his Father, or the pagan holidays that Babylon has brought in? Yahushua would. He would keep the original feast days, And I think, with that Hebrew Messiah, would he eat that abominable pig? I just don't think he would. That's me. That's just me. But I can't say I don't think he would. What do you guys think? Do y'all think the real, true Messiah would eat the abominable pig? Or would he teach any of his followers to eat that abominable pig or shellfish? Would he allow his followers to eat that stuff, or would he tell them to do his Father's will? A Father's will is that you obey him. The only way you get in a Father's will is by doing his will. If you guys can, see what I'm laying down for you. But, now that we know what old Jesus would do and what Yahushua HaMashiach would do, I was thinking, I made a video earlier about old Putin. You know what I'd do if I was Putin? I'd wait till Independence Day. Really everything in the end times that's good is really evil, and anything that's evil is really good. And I was thinking about that word, independence. Doesn't that mean freedom? Isn't that beautiful? It would be if it was true. But really, everything's opposite. Freedom's really slavery, especially when you live inside Babylon. High electricity and all kinds of taxes, and, get you air poisoned, you food poisoned, you schools poisoned, your government's poisoned, and especially your churches. They all get poisoned in Babylon. But anyway, just wanted to bring you guys that message and let you know how important it is to know what would Jesus do. Shalom.